30th, at which time the election pip will go live for 2 weeks, from August 30th to September 11th. We'll be utilizing the STV vote. Thank you, Funcracker and Sack One for improving that. And on September 12th, when the voting ends, the top 5 nominees will become candidates, and you go through an onboarding process where you sign agreements, you gain access, you're invited to different channels, and you'll have a month between September and October 12th to learn, to listen for what you're about to start. And then on October 13th, 12 a.m. UTC, SAC 4 term begins, SAC 3 term ends. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Did I buy enough time?
It's apparently not. Jose's not here. It's
Oh, no.
kind of crazy that this isn't. Oh, you're in the audience. What are you doing? Get up here.
Yeah.
No, there
GM,
he is.
I'll take over.
GM. Yes, please.
I'll taking over.
Right. We were
I'm
just briefing the
sorry.
upcoming nomination period for SAC 4, which starts this Sunday, Jose.
Yeah, no, this is exciting. Sorry,
Unbelievable.
everyone. John and I were discussing some nasty bugs on C4 PTR, and we lost track of time. That's the truth.
Just about
Thanks,
to
Jindo.
get into some juicy details about the Nemesis engine.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Yes. But sorry, everyone. And today is a very cool episode. The DAO crew is taking over. We have the legends, Chief Blade, Lancer, Emperor here. And they're going to walk us through what the DAO has been cooking so far. So, guys, feel free to continue from where you guys were. I'm sorry for this slight delay. And at the end of the brew, we'll give you guys a quick update on the overall C4 PTR development.
Yeah. No, I would say go ahead and do your introduction thing and all this stuff. So.
Well,
We're ready to support.
yeah, no, thank you guys, thank you. And yeah, please feel free to get this DAO presentation going.
Yeah, I guess on that note, I can to just kick it off. I am not
I can
a
share the
technical.
screen. You want me to drive?
No, I'll do it. No, I'm not a technical guy,
Okay.
but
All
I'm
right.
getting better at it. So during my screen. So I guess our first point of order is Hammerhead. He has a pip up. I think it's pip 23, if I'm not mistaken. Jeth or somebody, if you
It's
can
34.
post that link. 34. Thank you.
34.
Would you mind posting that link? So Hammerhead's
I'll
at
post the
work.
link.
He can't make it to the brew. So he asked if I could do his presentation for him. So I'm going to kind of muddle through it. So to start off with, one of the first things he sent me was like his season 1 reimagined closed with 1756 subscribers. The channel is currently at 1777, which is I think that's impressive. I don't really know. So and then he wanted me to share with you guys that here's some of the engagement stuff for his videos. Obviously, it's 98.1% male, 1.9% female, but 31% is between 25 and 34. I'm not going to rattle off everything. You guys can see the
Demographics.
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the demographics is interesting. Like, it's very well distributed, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of found it interesting that it's such young people. Maybe it's because how young Hammerhead is or isn't. I have no idea. But I thought it would be more of the older folks like myself in their 40s.
What do you mean? I am 35. I'm young. Come on.
Old geezers.
Old geezers. I'm 43, so.
Jesus.
You get to stay
But
in
yeah.
that bracket for one more year, and then you're out.
Yeah.
And you're in the old
Yeah.
man bracket.
Old man is 44?
45.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
You're
Well,
basically Gandalf.
Yeah, 45 to 54 is pre-dinosaur, and then
well,
everything
I
after
guess it
that's
is.
dinosaur. So
Yeah. So I found that interesting for his viewers, kind of the demographics. I'm not a.
If you had to blow the dust off of a cartridge with your mouth when you were younger, you're old.
I did. I'm old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did I. So did I.
So
Yeah, been there,
he
done
wanted
that.
me to share that metric with you guys. He also wanted me to share that his channel achieved 200,000 views on YouTube for the Star Atlas Crew Adventures, which
Nice.
Nice.
I think
very
that's
cool.
impressive. I don't really know, but and
I like it.
for everyone in the audience, I don't know what I don't know, and absolutely feel free to chime in. This is kind of a free flowing thing, so let us know, is 200,000 views on a YouTube channel a lot or not? I think it is, but
Honestly, considering everything, especially with all the other AI backlash and whatnot, it's pretty good.
perfect. I love it. Solid-ish. Solid, yeah. Cool. Thanks, Jindo. Cool. The other thing he asked me to share, I think these videos are probably private, but we're going to play them on the brew. So me and Jose ran through some technical stuff about an hour ago, so this should work. I'm going to push play and then full screen. So this is one of his videos.
Why are we going into orbit?
We have orders to take him to the Calico evac. Hang on back there.
Commander, MedTech is approaching. They said their patient is flatlining.
Bridge to medbay. Prepare for incoming casualty that is flatlining.
Commander, medbay reports the escape pod is on board.
We got him. We are rejoining the fleet.
The very bright sun.
Admiral, the Calico evac is on its way back to the fleet.
Commander, maintain the current orbit around the sun, so the planet's sensors don't pick us up.
Yes, Admiral.
Continue, Captain. What about the
Base
cargo?
Commissar.
So that's one of his videos. And then the other one's a minute and 27, so I'll play that now as well.
That's the Republic
I need
vibes.
to find where the corporation took some prisoners.
The corporation doesn't like anyone putting their nose in their business.
Never stopped you from selling information in the past.
I don't give out information to people I don't know.
And yet, here we are. How much for the information?
Why
Yes.
did I just kill you for being a nuisance?
You're definitely going to want to take the money.
Boys!
Oh. One shot first.
The information. Please.
Okay, take it easy. They are being held at this location. I will send it to your digital device.
Thank you.
Yeah, just text it to him.
Aren't you going to pay me?
I was, until you tried to kill me. I won't kill
With
you
your
with
life.
information. Is that acceptable?
Yeah. We are good. Before you go,
Tell me your name.
who are you?
They call me the Crimson Reaver.
Oh crap, I didn't realize that was you.
Yeah, because the Crimson outfit didn't give it away.
Zero.
So yeah, I just wanted to, I told him I would share his videos and his information with the group. So his PIP is up for voting.
Yeah.
Did anyone post
Yes,
a
we
link
did.
in the chat? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Neck and
yeah.
neck right now. Vote.
Yeah. We are not advocating either way. We're just presenting on his behalf since he couldn't be here. So
We
definitely
are
go
advocating
out
for you to
and-
vote. That's what we care about.
That's what we care about. So go out and vote. So yeah, that was Hammerhead's update. And then we do have a nerdy presentation. I don't know, Jose, if you want to give us an introduction to this nerdy presentation or not, but we can also just jump right into it.
Yeah, I mean, this shows pretty much the whole story of the DAO. how you guys have been cooking, how the community has been voting, everything that has been submitted to community participation, the story of our overall political activity, if we could say it like this. So I think it's very insightful to see what the DAO, the council members, and everyone has been doing so far in Star Atlas, and maybe give us a hint on how things will shape to be in the future.
Yeah, and our goal of this entire presentation isn't to skew anything one way or another. It's just facts. So we're going to present the information, and if people have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And Jose, just absolutely interrupt me, because now that I'm in full screen, I can't see the chat. So we're just going to go through the information.
Emperor, I might need
and
to shake it over because the dimensions of yours are really squashed. I can barely read anything. Has anyone else
Really?
seen that too? Is it just me?
I have this.
For me, but
I have a 42-inch monitor, and I wasn't sure.
yeah, mine is.
You know what? I can just do that. Does that look better?
A little bit, yeah.
We can just go with that one. So,
Okay.
you guys get to see the background.
Yeah. So if you've been watching the DAO meetings, you've seen us preparing this. It basically goes through all the pips. It says how much we paid versus how much the pip cost, and then we created an impact statement, which is what did the DAO get? What was its ROI, return on investment?
Yeah,
And
and the
big thanks to
ROI.
Emperor. It was your
Yeah.
idea, and then you did a lot of the legwork, and we've been working on it for about a month now, I think.
Yeah, and the ROI is from our point of view. So feel free to tell us if you have a different opinion. So this presentation is from the council regarding the ROI. So yeah, PIP 1 is the Star Atlas DAO. So we created the DAO, expectations and participation venue by community members. Pretty simple. And I have a tendency to just run through things. So Lanzer, feel free to interrupt, or anybody. So PIP 2 was the foundation. This is, right off the bat, PIP 2, the cost was 100,000 USDC. That was in the PIP, but I put on here, see PIP 33, and we can get to that at the end. But we created a company that acted as legal representation to protect the DAO. So we can get into the actual USDC paid later on. PIP 3 was the Star Atlas Council, so it didn't cost us anything. We didn't pay anything, but we created the Star Atlas DAO Council, voting ability, and community representation at leadership level. Pretty
and
simple.
if you think about those three right there represents the whole foundation of the DAO, the legal structure. If you think of like a castle, the DAO is the castle, and PIPs 1, 2, and 3 helped create the moat around the castle to protect us and our interests so that we could do the business of Star Atlas ecosystem. That was basically what PIPs 1 through 3 did. It laid those foundations, that moat, and allowed us to carry on with all the other PIPs after it.
Perfect. Yeah, and Lanzer is definitely more nerdy than I am.
I'm a nerd for this stuff.
Yeah, I love it too. Appreciate you chiming in. So, and that's one of the beautiful things about the council. Like, we're all different. We all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses. And Lanzer is an absolute rock star, and I appreciate him. I'll go on record saying that. So,
thanks, man.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as a team member, I am very happy to see how engaged you guys are. It surely has not been an easy time to be a council member, to say the least. But you guys have been fighting on and moving things forward.
Well, thanks. In all seriousness, a lot of DAOs have issues with longevity. They have issues with, people not following the rules, hostile takeovers. That generally hasn't been the case in Star Atlas DAO. There's been, some tight controls, let's say, some strict adherence and the way we do things. But by and large, it's created the stability we needed to survive multiple years, which is not something you can say for a lot of DAOs. So in that instance, this DAO is strong and will continue to be for as long as we can carry it forward as a community.
Yeah, and real quick, for those that don't know, Lanzer has been on multiple DAOs, is on multiple DAOs. He has a wealth of knowledge with all this stuff. He's a legal nerd. He's interviewed
I'm a nerd.
foundation directors, so he's got quite the portfolio. So he has a really good lens at a lot of this. So okay, we're gonna keep moving on and not just pat each other on the back the whole time. So PIP 4, the ecosystem fund. Yes, hit me.
Anthony has a question about didn't those pips technically cost a DAO based on the PIP 33 toll, or this is showing the cost at the time of approval, not Hamilton's?
Yeah, and that's why I put it off till the end. So we budgeted 100 grand, and then with PIP 33, we'll kind of like we can get into the weeds when we get to PIP 33.
Sure.
And anybody can correct us if we happen to be wrong. So okay, so PIP for the ecosystem fund. So that just created the ecosystem fund. So with that, we expedited 20 pips for funding, the low Atlas dollar projects related Star Atlas community for execution. We just basically created the ecosystem fund. Didn't cost us anything to actually create it.
The ecosystem fund was an expedited way for community members to get their projects funded versus going through the DAO treasury process, which was much stricter. It required a higher level of approval. This was meant to make that faster.
Yeah, and we've changed it a few times since. So PIP 5, this was in the way back machine. We actually struggled to go back and find this information, but the DAO co-sponsored the Nabathon. I think this was even before the council was in place. So it was 6 million Atlas, which came to about 20 grand, more or less 19,800 USDC. The winners were the Atom Service, Atlas Link, Star Atlas Crew Dashboard, Star Atlas Dispatcher, Wavefront Invasion, and then the IV, Forefront Invasion, sorry, and then the IV Ship Comparison and Viewer. So you'll notice that Atom and IV are definitely still around. We're not 100% sure on some of the other ones, but we co-sponsored that. So we as the DAO invested 20 grand to co-sponsor the Nabathon. PIP 6 was the SAC 1 election, first round, didn't cost us anything. PIP 7 was SAC 1 second round, didn't cost us anything, but we elected 5 volunteers, giving more or less 260 hours to Star Atlas DAO. Of the 53,000 token holders, established the knowledge base, and enacted voting mechanic improvements. So they essentially laid the groundwork. So
we calculated that, and what I wanted to do was give a quantifiable metric for how many hours we think the volunteers gave, the council members gave. So 260 hours of free volunteer time given to the ecosystem by those 5 volunteers who became the council members. And there were 53,000 token holders at the time.
Yep, and that was a 6-month term. So when the DAO first started, they were 6-month terms. And this is Lanzer editing stuff on the fly, like he always does. I love it. So PIP 8, and we included PIP 18. It was the Comet meetup and expansion. So I do have a video that I want to play. So I guess before we get into the video, so it was whatever 7,472 British pounds. So we essentially paid 13 million Atlas, which cost us as the DAO basically 14 grand. So for that 14 grand, we had the Comet meetup. So I'm going to play the video. I'm going to put it in full screen. I don't know if
Yeah, it'll work.
you know,
The videos were fine. And if you know who made this video, put it in chat. It's awesome.
I think it was Atlasterian Chatix? Not sure.
Chatix? Hmm. Y'all see some familiar faces.
Oh,
This was
nice.
Kimi,
Funcracker is. Yeah.
Funcracker said, and his significant other. Sliders. Nice.
Carlos and his mustache.
Legendary mustache.
See some team members in there.
Mm-hmm. That was really cool.
Yes. Oh man.
so yeah, anybody that was able to go to that event, I think they couldn't be, there's something special about going to these events and meeting people in real life. But yeah,
You're gonna want to
regardless,
switch out of that.
Yeah, I mean, Singapore, for example, was super exciting, man. It was one of the happiest moments in my Star Atlas history. Hopefully,
Right.
we'll have many more of those in the future.
Yeah, and Funcracker, yes, it was. I wasn't there, but I was at the Vegas meetup, and that was so epic as well. So we invested 14 grand into that. 70 Star Atlas community members attended, built camaraderie for the community, and then the sponsors and whatnot. And this is such a hard ROI to quantify in my mind, because you can't put a dollar amount on what happened there, so as the community, gets to decide, was this worth our money? I'll leave that up to you guys. All of the people who have ever attended any meetups, you can kind of testify to what it brought you, but I think there's just something special about it. So that's that's the Comet meetup. So that's PIP 8 and 18. So you saw the people had a bunch of shirts on with the merch. We'll get to that in PIP 18. So they added a bunch of merch onto it. So, and they were also at an actual event, not just the one meetup in real life, but there was I don't have the right words for it, but there was a session. There was a thing. So. PIP 9, thank you, Funcracker. So we adjusted the STV adjustment voting mechanism. So by nullifying supercharged votes that imbalance voting outcomes of PIPs. So not necessarily a monetary ROI or anything, but it is progress. PIP 10, council terms, see PIP 3 impact. So we just, I believe that was Funcracker as well. Changed it from 6 months to 9 months and some other stuff. We changed what purview the council had over certain items. They kind of narrowed it down, which is where we're still at today. PIP 11 was the SAC 2 elections. So Lanzer, thank you for this ROI. So 5 SAC 3 council members volunteered 675 plus hours over 9 months, completing 147 accomplishments, positively affecting the Star Atlas DAO ecosystem, paying out 61.5 million Atlas for PIP authors, facilitating voting processes for 14 PIPs, with 2.2 thousand votes cast, achieving average voter participation rate of 19%, publishing 48 DAO transparency reports. that 19% participation might seem low, but Lanzer chime in for sure, or anybody else. That 19% voter turnout is actually pretty good for a DAO, right?
Yeah, the lower range is about 6%. The higher range is, 25 to 30%. So we're upper tier of that.
Which I think is great. So that means
Yeah.
to me means we have a pretty active
And we
community.
were
so.
really specific
And,
about this because in SAC 2, I was kind of a fanatic about keeping track of our data. So that's why we were able to make such specific remarks about this one. If y'all saw some of our stuff, we had a DAO dashboard that I was keeping track of. So we were able to show and demonstrate the participation rates and how that worked, and we continue doing that for SAC 3.
Yes, we'll see what SAC 4 ends up doing. We'll get to that though. Cool. So PIP 12 was the feast. So originally it was 10,000 USDC. I don't have the Atlas amount on here, but we ended up paying out more or less 3,500 bucks for 7 events. Again, we're going back to that camaraderie of the Star Atlas community. So the events were Valencia, the Psi Italian meetup, YGG Summit, the Breakpoint meetup, Star Atlas Campus, Starbase, GamesCon Asia, and Galactic Outpost. And we've never really, and this is on me, we haven't really shared a lot of that. So this is a good opportunity. So I have a bunch of X posts. So like this is the Star Atlas Italia Psi, they had a bunch of people meet up. So they, paid for some drinks, and it was just that camaraderie event. That's fun. I love seeing all those people getting together in real life. So, and then the this one doesn't have. I didn't want to log into my X, but like MK did a Philippines meetup, and there was several people there. Which is really cool. Like being an international community is really interesting for me as an American. Just seeing all the different communities and how they get together and whatnot. So it was really cool to see more of the international community tied to Star Atlas. And then so then James is our rock star. So he applied 3 times for the feast, and I don't know what any of this says, but he did presentations at the university through the can't remember what he called it, but he was spreading the word, and you could see how many people, how many eyeballs got on the Star Atlas project. And then he did it again. So his 3 events were called the Star Atlas Campus Starbase, GamesCon Asia, and Galactic Outpost. So he handed out merch, he printed the signs, you can see everything in that little video there. And then he did another one where he was actually showing off Star Atlas and how it actually works, and again had food and presentations and the whole bit. So I think that was definitely a winner for us to have James do those meetups in Asia. And then one of the last ones was Funcracker. It was at Breakpoint. They had a party and got to spread the word some more about Star Atlas. So that was the feast.
Yeah. Well,
so we spent 3,500 bucks.
Live streamed the Super Phoenix Sports tournament on on some of the TVs at Star and Bars. So
yeah, you were there for that one, weren't you, Jeff?
Yes, I was. So like that also gave exposure not just to us, but to basically everybody who was there, who was actually at Star and Bars that night. On top of the fact that it was also at breakpoint, so there were probably quite a few people who were also within the crypto ecosystem. There was actually also some racing stuff at the hotel that I was staying at, which is also not that far from Stars and Bars. So we possibly got some people who were racing fans for actual car racing. So I would say that that was, and it was also good actually being able to meet up with everybody, especially since that breakpoint wasn't really as good a one to meet up at the actual breakpoint event itself.
Yeah, and full transparency as far as the community and their investment opportunities. These in-person meetups are hard to quantify, and I'll leave that up to each community member to decide what that ROI is. But again, being at the Vegas meetup, like for me, it's in real life, and I'm actually doing business with some of these people now. So that was the feast. I don't know if we're ever going to re-up the feast, but if somebody wants to, feel free to create a pip to re-up that feast. So
It's are super cool.
yeah, and so now we get into a bunch of the red letters. Where we didn't actually spend money or stuff failed or
Letters?
didn't pass.
That's
So
pretty good.
there was PIP. Yeah, so PIP 13, this was Bohemian. He was trying to implement term limits. It didn't pass. We don't need to dwell on that a whole bunch. Theo, it was canceled, but this is just looking at dollar amounts and what we got for it. And this is my opinion, and you guys can chime in, but this was our biggest loser in my opinion, and that's just me as a community member. So originally he asked for 10,000 USDC. We paid him 46.78. He created a website, had a MVP, minimal viable product, and now it's offline. So we never paid him the rest of it because he didn't follow through with his PIP. That's just the long and short of it. It is what it is. So we lost, in my opinion, $5,000, 4,700 bucks. So he didn't perform, so we canceled it. Feel free to chime in the chat. But
nope, I think that sums it up.
Okay.
We'll break his knees.
Yes. Jesus. No.
And by the way, this is not abnormal. In terms of DAOs and pips go, this stuff happens all the time. Sometimes they don't follow through, not because maybe things go wrong, but sometimes things happen outside of your control. Maybe life happens, family, whatever it might be. So in this case, the bad part was we paid that first payment and we weren't able to recover it. So that was the real badness out of that pip specifically. Whereas the others, sometimes we were able to catch that. The author said, "Hey, don't pay me this because it's going in the wrong direction." And then one of them returned the funds, which I give huge applause to. But the rest of them we canceled when we noticed that it wasn't going to work, and either the authors didn't respond or they said, "Hey, I can't follow through," and they were like, "Okay, cool, no harm, no foul." But that was the true winner or true loser, which I agree is because we paid it, we didn't recover it, still don't know anything about it.
But also, he did provide the minimal viable product, so we only paid him half, essentially. So stuff happens. So Pit 15 was the meetup platform, and the community did not pass it. So he was asking for 9,500 bucks USDC, didn't work or didn't pass. So Pip 16 was Raiden. So originally he was asking for 10 grand USDC. We ended up paying him 84.64, and this is probably like I'll leave it up to the community, but now we have Raiden. because he got, and I believe he was a Nabathon winner, but he also had PIP 16. So to me, this is a winner because we have Raiden, the IV project, EVI, sorry, which if anyone is deeply involved with Star Atlas, you use Raiden systems. And I have, so like Raiden.systems. We have this tool now because the DAO and the community funded him. I think it's hands down a clear winner. That's just me. You guys can.
Yeah. No, 100% Raiden is a beast. It provides so much value to the community. I think this is a huge win.
So yeah, we as a community invested $8,500 to have Raiden. PIP 17 was the ecosystem media expansion. This is what Lanzer was talking about. Raspy, he had 20,000 Atlas he applied for. We sent it to him. That was before some of our systems were in place with thresholds and whatnot. Didn't really pan out the way everyone thought it would, and he sent us the funds back. Again, before we had some of these protections in place, and thank you, Raspy, for being an honorable person and sending it back. So
yeah,
we aren't
that was
actually
really
out anything.
That was a great display of integrity. I really appreciated when you did that.
Yep. So that one was canceled. I want to keep moving on. PIP 18 is the Gamescom merch. We went over that in PIP 8. They just added on some merch and stuff. So PIP 19 didn't pass, but we don't need to dwell on that. PIP 20 was DAOcaster's creation, and we don't have the final numbers. That's why there's some red hashtags on here. But month 1, 2, and 3, you know, we essentially paid out 46.57 USDC to the DAOcasters. This one is also kind of up in the air on the ROI. There were 5 content creators producing 4 content pieces a month on social media. We don't have the final numbers, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of re-upping, and this is just me as a person in the community on re-upping for DAOcasters. I don't think the ROI is there. Let me know some of your other council opinions as to where you're at with the DAOcasters, but I don't think it was a great ROI. It was a good idea, and thank you to Signal for creating it, but I just think in this bear market, it just didn't pan out. Ronald Funcracker, yeah, thank you. You put it in the chat. So Funcracker was one of the DAOcasters, and thank you for all the work you did. It just didn't pan out in the current setting. So I would lean on Funcracker's opinion for that. So to me, that says it all. It was a great idea. We tried it. Some things work, some things don't. PIP 21, this is Rogue Data Hub. So it's their website that indexes and processes 20 programs, so smart contracts on chain. Originally, it was 7.3 million Atlas. We have paid them to date $2,083 in USDC at the time when we sent it. I'll pull it up. So this means nothing to me. I have no idea what any of this does, but there's a public API, a graphic QL, and an indexer.
Yeah, for all you nerds who are nerdier than we are, I'm sure this means something, but lots of stuff going on there. Good stuff.
We got something for it. I don't know what any of this stuff is.
We don't know what, but I'm sure for some of you who like the indexing and the processes of programs, which is Solana's version of smart contracts and on-chain Star Atlas data, this is for you.
Yeah.
Put the link in the chat.
I can't talk about it because
it's still there apparently. So have fun.
Yeah. So we did get something for our $2,000, and yeah, you guys figure out if it's worth the money.
All you devs out there, this one's for you.
Yeah. So PIP 22, we're about 15 minutes out from closing, so I think our timing is okay. So PIP 22, the arena. I like this one. We've only paid out 2 of the events out of the 11 million. So we've paid out $328 for 2 self-organized community tournaments, which earned the top 1% of Twitch viewers and 10% YouTube live stream channels for 2 months. I do have this Twitter post that you guys posted. So they did a tournament and all the things. So we definitely got a lot of eyeballs.
Sorry, I had someone talking in the background.
We definitely got a lot of eyeballs on Star Atlas. So look, 761 views. That's awesome. I think. I guess I don't really know, but I think it's been a success.
So the 1% Twitch part and the 10% YouTube live streaming was a big deal, mostly because it meant that we were at the top of that category. So whenever anyone wanted to look at Star Atlas or even gaming, we outranked a lot of other channels. And the reason why it was top 1%, it honestly doesn't take that much to get to the upper echelons of Twitch. Most channels never get above 5 viewers at one time. So we had, I think, somewhere between 50 to 80 memory serves. So it was a lot. And that was live viewers. So not even counting the other platforms as well. So we were instantly in the top ranking of that.
Yeah, and I think for a point of clarification, if you don't mind, Lanzer, you say we, you wear multiple hats. So when you say we, what does that mean?
I mean the ecosystem. I'll speak in the ecosystem sense. Star Atlas had its game showcased at the top 1% of Twitch numbers for that month.
But you're also on the Super Phoenix DAO.
I was also helping the Super Phoenix DAO, yes.
Perfect.
That's right.
I just wanted to clarify that for the community.
Yep. Which should not be a surprise because I've been on this brew before saying that, and especially when we put the tournament team together and we were looking for people, a lot of tournament team members came from here, from that brew. So thank you all. It's still going strong, and Star Atlas is still part of the tournaments that we do.
Just trying to be transparent further. Okay, so moving on, PIP 23. This was your baby, Lanzer.
Yeah.
The PIP 4 refresh.
Yeah, this one. When I first came into Star Atlas, right, what was really confusing was those foundational pips, and then suddenly it was PIP 4, which was Ecosystem Fund, and the message was that you couldn't do a PIP outside of Ecosystem Fund, which didn't make any sense because of how the DAO was structured. So what I did was we worked together as a council in SAC 2 and worked with ATMTA to make sure it was right by them, and did a lot of rules clarification, that sort of thing, so that it was much more clear what the top-up process was, how do we calculate the formula, and a lot of making it more predictable and transparent of what that ecosystem fund process was and how it differentiated itself from the DAO Treasury. And yep, I didn't get to the DAO Treasury pip this time around. I really wanted to, but at least we got the ecosystem fund, which is the vast majority of what we all spend our time doing in the DAO.
Yeah, and there was a whole bunch of clarification, which I appreciate. I'm really glad that we spent so much time in SAC 2 doing the PIP 4 refresh. By we, I mean Lancer.
Yeah.
So
thank you. A lot of that came into play with the recent PIP that ATMTA pushed out, which actually helped allow us clarify that we are going to be able to keep the ecosystem fund. We were able to do that final top up before ATMTA withdrew the funds, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely added a whole lot of clarification.
Yeah. I'm so glad we had
slug bug. Right? Slug bug, we can still say that?
Blood bug? What's that?
slug bug? When you see a Volkswagen bug and you hit the other person.
The old geezer.
Yep. Sorry.
Call it a punch bug.
Geezer stuff.
Punch bug.
Oh, punch
Thank
buggy,
you,
no punch back?
Xcode.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay,
Thank you,
punch buggy, no
Xcode.
punch back.
Jesus.
Gotcha.
All right, moving on. Sly PIP24 was the Sly DAO supported hosting service. So Artie, originally he pegged it at $675. We paid him $54. So we funded the Artie Sly Assistant automation tool, which enabled players to run the Sly accounts autonomously without user interaction, improved accessibility and uptime. So the first month it was 5 players, second month it was 8, and the third month it was 5 again. So I just put 8. So
yeah, and this was for Sly too. And I know you're an honest person, Artie, but darn, man, that felt criminally underrated, underfunded, let's say.
Well, it is what it is, and people.
It is what it is. You're right, but darn,
used
man.
it or they didn't, and now we know. And now Artie knows. To be honest, he put in a lot of work, and I commend him. So
yeah,
I would say without what we paid for there.
Yeah.
Artie, on the other hand, I think probably got a little shafted.
Yep. But he also didn't complain about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm complaining on his behalf, because he was just so good to work with. It seems like a really good product. He's a good actor in the space, and I look at that and I'm like, dang, yeah. All right, keep going.
Okay, we got to keep going. PIP25 was the SAC3 elections. So SAC3 council members volunteered. I don't know what happened to that number, but
it means about estimated
8.
About
8 hours per month. Yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry. Completing 20 accomplishments. Affecting the ecosystem, paying out 1.2 million Atlas for PIP authors, facilitating voting process for 6 PIPs with 871 votes cast, achieving average voter participation rate of 23%, which is higher than
we're up there now.
last term. Yeah,
that's like top 90 or the top 10% right there of all DAOs. It's going really well.
And then thanks to Lanzer, we published our 21 DAO transparency reports.
I posted like 7 more last night, so we're almost at 30.
Boom. Well, that was SAC. Okay, SAC 3, yeah. PIP 26, the Hammerhead's first attempt, it did not pass. The DAOcaster elections, we already went over DAOcasters. We had the elections. PIP 28 was the temporary DAO funding to preserve core lore, design, and community functions. This was one of the first ones that was outside of the ecosystem fund, which we as the DAO, the council, have the DAO council have 0 control over. So this was to keep Jose in place. It cost us 30 grand. We've paid out 25,000 as of July 21st. I think there's one more payment that will go out. So we retain. Yep, we retained Jose, and I don't think there's anybody in here. And Jose, you can stay quiet. That's fine. That wouldn't agree that having him on the team has been a godsend. Like now that he's been around, you've learned new skills. I appreciate what you're doing greatly. I assume the Xcode. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I'm
Jose's
not
doing a great job at being a vibe coder. But
so not only is Jose doing a great job being a vibe coder, but he's effectively proven that he can work on the front end of our product. He can build blockchain code now. He can continue to work on the lore and run these events, brews, etc. Like, he's essentially operating at the level of our senior blockchain engineers.
That's so cool, man.
Right? So
that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's not a slight on any of the people that we had working here. They built a beautiful foundation for us to work from. But for Jose to come in and pick up and contribute and add to that code and extend it and all that has been It's been wild. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and Jose is great to work with. And we're definitely getting the ecosystem, and the community is definitely getting a really good ROI having Jose on the team. So yeah,
I love it. Thank you for that. It's hard to sit here and listen to people give you accolades, but thank you for doing that on his behalf.
I can beat
we
you
are
down,
running.
Jose, if you want to. Know what I mean?
I can tell you
All right,
some
we're
of the
gonna-
mistakes he's made if you want, but I
No.
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 I made some fun mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there you
made
go.
one yesterday, so it's fine.
Yeah, we got to keep going. Sorry. This is my job, is to keep it going. PIP 29 is the relay program. Funcracker, this is what you were alluding to earlier in the chat. So it passed at 13 million Atlas. It was a platform that showcased showcases and rewards quality Star Atlas content created by community members, incentivizes participation to enhance social media presence and engage with Web3 community. It's not done. It's not stalled out. It's just kind of, and Funcracker, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just kind of in a holding pattern for now in this bear market. So I'm going to keep going. You can feel free, correct, is what he says. So PIP 30, the Atom Cloud infrastructure sustainability. This one was kind of contentious, but we paid out $1,900 to keep Atom going for, I think it was 4 or 5 months to keep it up and running. And an important thing to note is they were a Nabathon winner, and they used all of the Nabathon money and PIP 30 money strictly for infrastructure costs. So without the Nabathon and PIP 30, they would have closed shop. They're kind of treading water and waiting for C4 to come out. So we still have them. I think it's a good thing to have Atom around, and I will say that they've put in a ton of work. And yeah, I think it's great that they're still around. Star Seekers 2 was withdrawn. It did end up passing, but he withdrew before it ended up passing. PIP 32 is the Igniting the Star Atlas Triad tournament. That passed. We're waiting on bugs to get fixed. Get on it, Jose. No, I'm just.
Yeah, vibe code it, Jose. That immortality thing, man.
It's just that easy. It's that easy, right?
I got
we don't need, Brujo's already really good. We don't need him wandering around invincible, killing everyone.
Right? So that did pass. Now when the bugs actually get worked out, that will get paid out. Whatever that USDC amount is at payout is to be seen.
Yeah.
PIP 33.
It's all ready to go. Just need
They're
the
just
patches
waiting.
fixed.
And so the PIP 33 was the Autonoma Historic Expense Reimbursement, and this goes back to PIP 2, I think it was. So again, outside of the ecosystem fund, I don't know, Lanzer, if you want to edit the slide with your red letters, but we paid, we reimbursed Autonoma 469K. Well, we approved 469K. We paid them out half of it to date, and the other half will be in a few months to cover the
Oh yeah, that was
historic.
what we did last night.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it was 176,000 USDC and 376 million Atlas.
Yeah. So we've sent out the first half of that payment. So the ROI, in my opinion, is Autonoma gets to keep going at the level that they're at. I think
secured
based on
additional runway for parent company.
There you go. Perfect. So I think the ROI is, keeping Autonoma going. Let's do it. And I think the votes showed that result as well. So then the last PIP is ongoing right now, which is what I showed at the beginning, Hammerhead's PIP. Make sure you go vote. Please go vote. either way or abstain, that's fine too. There's no, he requested 13 million Atlas. We haven't paid anything out because it's still in voting. So yeah, that's the quick presentation that we have. And Jeff did just put in the chat a some of his nerd formulas on where we're going to be at, but we're also at the top of the hour. So are there any quick questions now that we're over time?
We've been answering it quite a bit as we went.
Good. Sweet.
Posted a lot of the links to the stuff that we went over, the DAO reports, riding systems, EVI, the Atlas Relay, Atom. So just check the chat if you're interested in any of those things. You'll see those links. I made them headers, so they should instantly stand out to you.
Sweet. And the code, since I've been talking this entire time, Jose posted it. It's DAO ROI. I don't know if it's still active or not, but get your codes.
It is still active, yes.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Jose
guys.
or Xcode, any closing statements?
Yeah, just wanna say doubles in the chat for the council. They have been working hard for our sake. This was super enlightening about the work of the DAO, of everything that Star Atlas DAO has done to this date. Surely not easy. Surely it takes a lot of work and a lot of passion to do this, especially since they are not getting a single Atlas as payment. So doubles in the chat, those guys deserve our praise or respect. Thank you for everything that you guys have done for Star Atlas, and I'm looking forward to see who's running for the next council.
Yeah, on that note, there are two of us on the existing SAC 3. I'm going to be rerunning, and so is Jit. I don't know about the other people.
I will not be rerunning. I pretty much already know that. So if you want to, if you have interesting ideas or you want to try and make the ecosystem better, there is no better way to do it than the DAO Council. It is very much what you make of it. And yeah, enjoy. It's been fun. I would love to do it. I would love to do it again, but can't do it with my current stuff. So please come in and do it better than me.
Oh, that's heavy.
It's hard.
That's hard.
It's a great presentation.
That's a pretty low bar. You'll be fine. Y'all will be fine.
All right, everyone.
But yeah, do
Thank
not
you,
feel
guys.
intimidated. Just if you feel like you want to run, just run. We need people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone's more than invited to run for the council. All right. I think that's it for today's brew. Thank you, guys. Lazar, Emperor, Shitblade, John. Always a pleasure to have you guys upstage. Community, thank you all for being here with us for another Atlas Brew. Next week, we'll come back with more updates on the C4 PTR as we move forward to the next stage of Phase 2. We are bound to have a reset, right, John, in the upcoming weeks? Because we have a few updates to add to the game.
Yep.
So keep your eyes open because cool stuff is coming your way.
Yep. The Jorvik territory just launched on the map, and there's a number of Super Phoenixes that have begun to expand their territory. So if you were looking for something to do, good luck fighting the Titans taking over the high-risk zone area.
They are going to destroy civilization.
They are, yeah. They are. They've got a new mechanic that's running now where they're basically setting up to defend the zones that they're set out in. So they're going to systematically take and garrison every single system inside of Ani 15, Ooster 16, and Mud 17. And then from there, they're going to branch out and start attacking the territories that are contested in the areas around them. So it'll be fun. It's been running now since, for about 3 hours, and you can go and you can look at the Ani and Ooster spaces have significantly changed in those areas, and Mud has just kicked in, and is you can see the Super Phoenixes flying across the screen, heading to their next target, sort of thing. So it's going to be good.
Awesome.
Thank you both. Thank you all for your time.
Alright, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone. This was the Atlas Brew. We'll go back to bug fixing. See everyone.
Sounds
Bye-bye.
good. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.